what's going on. We have another Plague Marine squad by the Chaos, meanwhile Tier 3 going up by the Space Marines at 13, 23, 24, 25, but I don't know, maybe 2 Plague Marines are going to be able to do it for Chaos, but I'm predicting the Heretics have to retreat immediately once their focus fired, and then once they retreat, it's just Plague Marines versus Dreadnought, and Dreadnought can just walk in and punch the Plague Marines in the face. So, oh, we have something cast on the Assault Marines, some sort of, it's just a noxious gas sort of thing. They can just move away from it and heal up at their beacon. And we see very nice repair going on by the Techmarine and by the Scouts on this beacon and on the Dreadnought. So here we see the Plague Marines firing with their thing on the Dreadnought, and the Dreadnought is actually upgrading Dark Age of Technology. He is Tier 3, so he can get this on his Dreadnought. Basically, it just makes it much, much better in melee, and now it's upgraded, and it is going to be ridiculous. More health, and when you kill enemies in melee, it makes everybody around the Dreadnought better. It looks like they get 35% increased damage and 70% decreased suppression. Don't have to worry about suppression. Chaos is not suppressing anybody, but 70% or 35% reduced damage is a fantastic modifier, or increased damage is a fantastic modifier for all those Space Marines. That's just gonna let him rip through the Heretics even faster. And Chaos is screwed. Like I said, down to 145. VPs. I just built a Shrine of Nurgle. Can't remember quite what that does. Certainly that's him reinforced by it. Plague Marines being reinforced, but unless this turns into a crazy push by the Chaos, it's gonna go bad, especially because the Dreadnought finally found the time in his busy day of sitting inside his metal tomb for eternity and went over and smacked the turret to death. So, mistakes by the Chaos player. Well, relying way too much on Heretics. Heretics, really fantastic unit. I understand wanting to build as many as possible, but their strengths don't shine unless you have something to take the heat for them. Otherwise, your opponent's just going to build some sort of jump troop or some sort of good melee troop, and he's just going to run straight into your Heretics and blow the crap out of them. Second problem, not capitalizing on his Heretics to cap all over the map. You want to sneak behind your opponent's lines and cap things with your excess Heretics when you're not using them to fight, and of course when you're using them to fight, you also need someone helping them. That, of course, is harder on this map. Like I said, it's a very narrow map, very hard to sneak around behind, but still, you want to try and use your Heretics for that. His next problem was, I don't know, going straight to Bloodletters and Nurgle Marines is kind of a weird, or Plague Marines is just kind of a weird build order. Bloodletter is not awful, but I'm not sure he really needed the super heavy melee as much as he needed, well, I don't know, Bloodletter's maybe not a bad choice, but the Nurgle Marines, or the Plague Marines, they're really not good. As far as anti-vehicle, you're better just blobbing Zinch Marines or getting like a Blood Crusher to take on their dude in melee, something like that. Plague Marine's just not so fantastic. But here's this fight. You can watch basically Chaos get mopped up. Like I said, he really doesn't have any strong units. His Plague Marines are only marginally good, and the Bloodletters, while strong, are nowhere near as strong as a Dreadnought. So Chaos just doesn't have any strong units to take on the Space Marines, which are very, very strong. And now the Space Marine is calling some sort of call-in, like Terminators or Drop Pod. Yeah, it's Terminators, so this is over. Chaos player was not able to be aggressive enough, wasn't able to be aggressive enough because he relied entirely on Heretics, and didn't even use those Heretics to do the thing that Heretics do best, which is cap around behind enemy units. So things just did not work out for the Chaos player. Was on his back foot the entire game, and Space Marine, very nice job utilizing his Assault Squad to force the retreat on the Heretics. That's as much the Chaos player's fault as it was the Space Marine player playing well, but try and force the Heretics off as soon as possible, because they won't be a threat if they're running back to their base, and they're so weak that if you focus fire them, they're going to have to bug out if your opponent is not an idiot and letting him get killed. And if they let them get killed, that's perfect for you too. So, victory to the Purple Marines, defeat to the Fuchsia Marines, and I think we've all learned a valuable lesson about, caring and kittens and love and watching this assault cannon blow people into bloody chunks at the right VP, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, that guy's dead. Awesome. Killing people, yeah. Also, Space Marine had a crap ton of power in the entire game, and so in about 20 seconds we will go to the end screen and we will see what kind of awesome power the Space Marine had. And in fact, just to see the dire straits Chaos is in, he bought a Plague Fist for his Plague Champion in order to maybe hope to take on this Dreadnought, although it's really not going to help him. You have to be a pretty badass to take on the Dreadnought, and this Plague Champion is only level 1. Look at those Space Marines jumping right into the Plague Marines. Alright, playback over. I don't want to waste any more time staring at Hive Fleet Leviathan, which is strangely devoid of Tyranids now that you think about it. Alright, victory. Way more points for the Space Marine. Yeah, he kicked butt. Commander level 5. Yeah, he kicked butt. Units killed 80. Yeah, he kicked butt, although, to be fair, I'm guessing like 76 of those were heretics. Now we see the requisition collected. Interestingly enough, Chaos collected more requisition. That's probably just because he was getting his butt kicked the entire time. Could never buy units to get enough upkeep. But the Space Marine player didn't lose any units, I think, that entire time. Maybe lost a scout squad, wasn't watching. But he had so many units the entire time that weren't dying, that just adds to his upkeep, so that reduces the requisition collected. But you see power collected twice as much for the Space Marine player, despite building just as many generators. So, I mean, Chaos really can't fight against that. And, yep, Chaos got owned, so don't get owned like Chaos. Goodbye.